Welcome to Bounce Back Stronger, the podcast that explores ways to find peace and purpose no matter what happens. I'm your host, Donna Ferris, and today we welcome one of our favorite guests, psychic medium Cristina Leeson. A little bit about Cristina. With over 2 decades of experience, Cristina has been teaching, conducting readings, and guiding people to rediscover their purpose in this lifetime. Her latest book, Live in the Light, Respect the Dark, about her ghostly experiences and how to handle these spirits when you come upon them, is a must read for anyone looking to better understand spiritual haunters. Christina, thank you so much for joining us on Bounce Back Stronger. Again, it's good to have you with us as we ready ourselves for 2026.
Thank you so much for having me, Donna. I love doing your show. It's awesome.
We always have a good time. Let's just start out. Like, what are the guides wanting you to share with us today in this particular time?
Right now, the guides want us to make a conscious effort, a conscious focus on staying connected to the higher ethers, to really stay connected to source. There's so much going on around us in the world, and it's always distracting us, trying to get us to be pulled out of our connection, out of staying in alignment with our guides and source energy. And it's really crucial to create strong boundaries, to set aside things that are blocking us or pull us out of that energy, and really be definitive, saying no to things that are misaligned or keep you from your joy, keep you from your happiness, to pull you out of that energy.
And why is it so important that we stay in that higher energy? That may not be a natural thing that people think about. So, why is it so important?
Yeah, so many of us grow up in a background of a dog eat dog world, and you can't have your cake and eat it too kind of mentality. Who do you think you are? When we're growing up, money doesn't grow on trees kind of stuff. And it's all focuses on lack, and it focuses on you don't deserve. And we get stuck in that groove, in that record groove, because we learn it and then it stays with us for years and years. You have to understand that the guides want you to be successful, they want you to be happy. Your guides come to you for this lifetime, and they help guide you on the daily, help guide you on what better choices to make. When you make a good choice, they'll give you signs that you did the right thing. Your guides don't want you to feel lack and victimized, and that you can't have good things because you don't deserve it, because it's not true. You're a spiritual being, and you're here to experience life. And life isn't supposed to be lived through victimization. It's supposed to be lived in awe, in joy, in abundance, in happiness. And they just want us to be happy. Number one, they want us to be happy, because in that energy, when we are happy and joy filled and abundant and feel reciprocated and feel loved, and when we're in that zone connected to source energy, that energy expands and it fills our lives. It's like a ripple that goes out into everybody that's around us and everything that we're doing, and then it comes back to us tenfold. So when we send that energy of love and support and acknowledgement and deserve out into the world, knowing who we are, knowing that we will get it back and it will fill our cup, so that our cup is never empty.
And that's excellent. And in a way, too, it helps if you're worried about things that are going on. It is the one thing that we can do consistently to make things better.
It's funny because you can't control the world and you can't control other people. So what can you control? Yourself. So I learned a long time ago that the guides work together behind the scenes with other people. So, that chance meeting that you meet someone out of the blue and you have this synchronistic moment where you believe in the same things and you've been reading the same books and you have that camaraderie with this person. And that's not happenstance. That's not a coincidence. It's the divine aligning you and putting you together with this person. And when it does that, it's giving you support. It's showing you that you're doing the right thing by going on this path. The reason why it's so important to keep your energy and your vibration is how you feel about your life and about like your children and your pets and your how you feel abundant, getting that paycheck for something that you did a really good job on. That energy expands on itself. And what you're doing is when you stay in that energy, it keeps your vibration high and it keeps you connected so that you can stay connected and listen and hear and see and feel information for the next step, for the next day, for the next week from your guides. So it's about staying in alignment. I call it living in the flow. And living in the flow, there's things that happen and it gets us mad. Like something happened to me a few days ago and I put up my newsletter and it got me really upset. And you just have to pull back and you have to realize, okay, where's the lesson here? So when things happen, it's not to victimize you or pound you down or to debilitate you. Things happen in life to teach us to be stronger. And it's for us to realize where we need to get rid of some stuff. Maybe there's an old lesson right now at the end of 2025. Right now, we are in the middle of getting our last lessons finished for our lifetime. And when I send out a newsletter, I send it out every week. And it gives people a heads up on what's going on and what to be aware of and how to stay grounded and how to stay connected. But it teaches us to stay connected like that. It teaches us that those little tribulations that happen, those little tests that happen, aren't supposed to take you down and take you out of alignment. It's just to say, whoa, wait a minute. What am I learning here? Where did this come from? Is this a test? This could be something that's coming up from before that you've had to do over and over again. And sometimes the guides bring us tests to see if we really figured it out. Hey, you went through this lesson and this lesson. It's all the same lesson, different faces and different times. But they want to make sure that they can close that book on that lesson so you'll get tested. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and maybe also sometimes you get presented with something to have you make a change, right? That you are not supposed to be doing this. Sometimes things happen so that you can find something else or pick something else to move forward with. It's not always a bad thing, but it feels like it in the moment. I think that's a
No, in the
thing that
moment
I
it
keep
feels,
hearing.
yeah, it feels like it's a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. And you have to remember, if you're looking at it like everything that happens to you is a bad thing, then you're going to
Yeah.
stay in victim mode and it's going to
Yep.
pull you out. You won't be able to hear your guides.
No.
It'll sound like mumbles. Like you won't be able to hear when something happens that makes you really get in a funk or get upset or get frustrated, or you stop what you're doing, you pull back and you ask the question, why? Okay, why is this happening to me? Why didn't it happen to the person over there? Why didn't it happen to a person over there? Why did it happen to me? And then where is it that I have to release something in me to overcome a lifetime lesson?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
yeah. And part of that is accepting it, right? That it's happened. Like that you weren't, you had no entitlement to avoid difficulty. Like I think that's one of the things that we get stuck in. I get stuck in it
Oh,
too. Like that wasn't supposed to happen to me. It happens to everybody.
happens to
This is
everybody.
life is lifing, and you're like, I wasn't supposed to have that happen. It's supposed to happen to somebody else. It doesn't work that way.
That's why also I believe in kindness, because
Yes.
If
Go
you're in
through
your
it.
head and you're upset with something, everybody has something to be upset about. If you have a loss, or if you're in pain, or if you're going through health issues, everybody is going through it. Everybody. You're
Yeah.
not the only one on the earth that's going through it. And how would you want to be treated? If you're going through an issue, you would want to have kindness, correct?
Yeah.
So I always think that what is that other person going through that may have triggered something or made something happen in such a way? So
Yeah.
again, it's not to take it personally, and it's hard to not take it personally. I'm not saying you don't have to get mad. You can't get mad. I'm not saying
That's
that.
right.
You can get pissed off. It's okay. But don't stay there.
Yeah.
Don't stay there, because then that brings your vibration down and it takes you away from hearing guidance.
Yeah. And then looking at 2026, what should we expect? What are the guides suggesting for us in the next
So
year?
so right now we are finishing out 2025, and this year was a 9 year. It's also the year of the snake. So 9 is endings. It's all about, what do we have to close out? What are the things that have to end for us to move on to a new beginning? Endings aren't bad. It's closure. They're things that have to happen so that it can bring new and good things to us. Okay. And 9 is also the wisdom number. What did we learn? What did we learn this year? Like, this past year was really, it was a lot. It was a lot going on. I had to learn a lot, and I'm sure everybody else has. So You're the Snake is also about shedding. So it's about releasing, letting go, just basically releasing what doesn't work for you anymore, what you've grown out of. Because what does a snake do? It outgrows its skin, right? It has to shed it. So, what have you outgrown? And where is it that you have to embrace the new you? And this next year is the year of the fire horse.
Hmm.
And the fire horse is freedom. So think
Hmm.
of horse on the plains running free, wild, right? And when a horse runs really fast, all four hooves come off the ground. So it's actually flying.
Hmm.
So when we gain momentum in this next year through the horse energy, it's going to bring us new opportunities, freedom, ways to express ourselves, joy. And if there's something that needs to be let go, something that is not bringing you joy, this next month going into the new year is all about acknowledging what isn't working and finally making a decision to release it so that you can be free.
I love that. I love
The
that.
big year. Plus, 2026 is a 10 year, and the 1 in 10 means adventure, it means leadership, yang energy, it's strength, it's courage, it's determination. And the 0 behind the 1 to make it a 10, 0 is the God number.
Hmm.
So whenever you step into leadership or stepping into determination and courage and focus and making these clear cut boundaries for yourself and deciding that you deserve, deciding of what you want in your life, that's when God's got your back. That's when you're going to be given all these signs and blessings that you made the right decision.
So 2025, if I'm reading this right or listening to you, it was a difficult year just all the way around from the different signs. And we needed the difficulty for whatever reason. But 2026 is going to be a year that's may provide more freedom, may provide more chance to be in charge of our lives. It's up to us to take those opportunities, but is that a reasonable way of kind of
Yeah,
summarizing?
but it's not about controlling
Yeah.
the world or anything outside of you. It could even mean something as simple as, I want to feel better, so I'm going to change my diet, or
Hmm.
I'm going to use meditation to help me get out of my negative mindset, or I'm going to go to a hypnotherapist to help me get rid of old issues from past lives that I keep having to deal with. Anything that makes these decisions to make your life better. I'm going to do more self-care, maybe downsize. I'm retired now, so a lot of people in my energy field are downsizing. Kids are grown, they've left the home or whatever. And it's about making your life better, it's making your life less stressed. Things like that. Those kinds of decisions. It could be very simple as just stop worrying and start applying, maybe do some exercise or go for walks or join the gym or try a new modality. Last month, I went to a Hindu center and we used to do drumming, like a full
Hmm.
moon drumming years ago
Yeah.
before COVID. And we had stopped all that, getting all together. And I found out that this one beautiful place was offering it. I went there and it was so great to sit
Wow.
and drum. They had all the drums available. It was just so wonderful. And it just put me right back in that zone again of gratitude and thankfulness. And it's just so great. So, trying a new thing to help you feel better could
I love
be,
that.
it could be just as simple as that.
I
Hmm.
love that. You're going to tell me where that Tibetan center is. I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So let's turn a little bit to how do you suggest people work with their guides? And then I guess when people are just starting in their journey, how do you suggest they tell between intuition or imagination or the genuine messages from spirit? Like maybe a little bit of early guide tutorial would be
Yeah.
helpful.
I get this question so much. So, your guides talk to you all the time. When I first started down this path, I kept getting very frustrated, and my guides kept showing me meditation. They would show me a class that was coming up on meditation, or I would pull oracle cards and it would say meditate. And people will come to me and say, I keep pulling the same cards with my oracle cards over and over. They're broken. And they're not broken. You're not listening. But I was the same. Like, I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening to what they were telling me to do because I was fighting them. I finally gave in and I started meditating, and I met one of my guides in the meditation. And it was so moving. It was an amazing experience. And they were trying to help me get out of my head so that I could realize that they were talking to me all the time. It's like they don't talk to you in sentences, and it's almost like they don't speak English, okay? So they speak spirit. So we have to learn how to acknowledge their signs, and when they're talking to us we have to learn spirit talk. So I'll give you an example. So I had to get a car. This is years ago. I had to get a new car. My car was dying and I had to find a new car. So I went car shopping. I go to, and I can't stand car shopping because these car salesmen just drive me crazy. So I went to this one place, right? And I saw this car and I really liked it. And I said, I have to think about it. And I left. And everything about it fit me. It just felt right. The whole thing felt right. And that was sign number one, because
Hmm.
when you go somewhere and you feel like you are supposed to be there, that everything is in alignment, that everything's working out. If when it feels right, then you are right. Okay, that's a sign. So then I left and I went home and I was negating it in your head. You're like, I don't know, and if I should do this, and it's going to be good, and whatever in my head. So I'm at a stoplight and a hawk flies out of nowhere and flies over my car and into the grass and grabbed a mouse, and his wings were spread out wide, and this hawk was so big, his wingspan must have been 5 feet wide. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he's on the ground as I'm sitting at this light going home and looking at me holding this mouse. Okay.
Yeah.
So I looked up what does it mean when a hawk grabs a mouse? And it means to grasp the opportunities when they come. So
Right.
the hawk isn't my spirit guides. My spirit guides sent me the hawk. They sent the hawk at that very moment to tell me that I need to get that car.
Yep.
And I'm like, done. You hit me with a 2x4 over the head. I got it. I got the sign. I got the message. And I went and got that car. And it was great. It was a great car. It was fantastic. I handed it down to my kids. It was wonderful. It was a great buy.
Yeah.
So things like that, it can be so practical about a car. It can be a practical thing. To me, I think that connecting with your guides in spirit and meditating and all that stuff, it's not about the otherworldly stuff to me. I want to know information about my life and how I can use it for me and my family. So it's okay if this planet is there and that planet's doing that and Andromeda is wide open, whatever. Okay, that's all fine and good. And I like astrology, I think it's great. But tell me how I'm going to use that for me. How am I going to use it in my everyday life?
Yeah.
And the clincher to this is that you have to stay open. And I could have missed that sign and not looked. I could have been distracted. I could have been on the phone while I was driving home or whatever. No, I saw it. It was vivid. It was strong. And the message went home. And the whole thing is that we have to pay attention when our guides are telling us stuff. We have to
Yeah.
pay attention.
And it comes back to your earlier message, right? To stay in the higher dimensions by meditating and not being negative and so forth. Otherwise, you won't see it. You'll be just distracted.
Because if I went home and I said I don't deserve it and it's not for me and it's not going to work out, if I turn into Eeyore and say all these horrible things that's going to happen, that's horrible. So I get in that mindset, I would have missed that sign.
Yep.
But I was literally saying to my guys, should I get this car? Should I do it? Should I do it? What do you think? Give me a sign. And you can say to your guides, give me a sign.
Yeah.
You can say, give me a sign. And you know what's funny is that they'll give you a sign and you might negate it and you say, give me a sign again, and they'll send you another sign.
Yeah.
And then you could say again, you could miss it again or negate it again, and they'll send you another sign. They won't give up on you.
Which is good. Which is good because we don't always pay attention.
No. And
No.
but sometimes we're not open to it. And
Yeah.
you have to realize that they're never going to give up on you. Your guides will never give up on you. Till the day you pass and cross over to the other side, they're never going to give up on you. Why? Because you picked those guides to help you in this lifetime. I know somebody, his guides are so strong with him, so tight that they promised him that he can't fail. They promised him they weren't going to let him fail. And when he goes down a wrong path, he gets slammed. They'll stop him, pulled in his tracks. They'll keep him from meeting a person or doing a thing or get his attention. And time again. And I'm like, wow, your guides are so tight with you. You cannot fail. They won't let you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that amazing?
It is amazing. That's pretty cool. And he's open to it, which is really helpful.
Yeah, he's open. So it's amazing. It's funny because there's guides that are sitting there like twiddling their thumbs waiting for you to ask them.
Yeah. I think that's a really good one. That's a really good one to know.
Yeah. Ask and ye shall receive. Everybody's heard that. Everybody's heard that. You have to ask. Say, is this a good thing? What do you think? Should I go down this path? Show me a sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be animals. It could be an email. You could be walking in the grocery store and some person, random person that you never met before comes up to you and says, you should do that thing that you're thinking about doing.
Or it could be a song that doesn't belong on the Pandora channel. That happened to me the other day.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, I'm listening to the Bare Naked Ladies channel and the Journey song Don't Stop Believin' shows up. I'm like, that doesn't belong. And I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. I won't stop. I won't stop.
Years ago, I was trying to get my Reiki practice going. I was doing a lot of Reiki and I was trying to get into teaching classes. And I used to go to this one woman's house and she had MS and she swore by it. She swore that it helped her. So I would go to her house and I would throw my giant 6-foot massage table in the back of the car. I would take my music box. I would take my sage and my aromatherapy oils, and I would throw everything in the car, take it to her house every 2 weeks. And I would only charge her like $25 because I felt that it was something I needed to do. So one day I threw my massage table in the car again for the umpteenth time. And I said to my guys, wow, this is a lot of work. Is this what you really wanted me to do? And I got in the car and the song came on the radio. She works hard for the money.
They
You
have a sense
can't
of
make
humor
this
too.
up.
You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
And I just busted out laughing. It was right at the beginning of the song. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and I got goosebumps. And when you get goosebumps, it's spirit talking to you. And
Yeah.
that's how often they talk to you. Like people don't realize how often. Some people think it's their conscience. That's not, no, it's your guides.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
your guides.
Especially if it's advice that would normally come from you. I think that's when I do a lot of, so my spirit guide meditation, I will write. So I will have a journal
Yeah.
in front of me and then I'll
Yeah.
write things that come down and they're not things that I would have thought of. That is not coming from me. And that's
No,
how I can see it. I go, that's new. That's a completely out of the blue idea. And
that's automatic writing. Yeah,
it's
automatic
automatic writing.
writing.
It works really
And
well.
how you start, like people ask me how you start journaling, how do you start automatic writing? And you sit down and you write down how you feel. So
Yeah.
you start with, this is how I'm feeling right now. This is what I'm feeling. Why am I feeling this way? And then you start asking questions and then the answers start coming in. And
Mhm.
then you're writing things that aren't from your mind and it doesn't sound like you. There's things that my guides will tell me, right? That I don't know. That I don't know. I was helping my husband with his car one time and they were showing me there was something wrong with the car and I said there's a crack. So I in my head I would see this crack in this rubber thing like a gasket or something like so I was explaining I don't know what it's called but this is what I'm seeing and don't he went to go take apart the car and he found that there was a crack in the gasket. So sometimes it's a vision of something.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a dream. Sometimes it's a knowing. Like you just, how do you know that? I don't know. I just know. But you know when it's not you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think you're going crazy.
But you aren't.
You're not crazy. You're intuitive.
Yeah. You're
You're
intuitive.
intuitive. You're not crazy. Your guides are talking to you. How do you know
Yeah.
that? I don't know. I just know. In my bones, I just know it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I sadly have to look at time. I did want to ask you the date question. So we recorded our last podcast episode on December 17th, and we're doing it again. What do you think it's the significance of that? Like, how would you read into that? I would be interested. And then I think numerology is a much bigger subject and one that maybe I'll have you back for, but
Oh,
just
yeah.
give me a little snippet on that.
Today's the 17th, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And
So
that's when we recorded last time.
it was exactly the same day, the same
Yep.
time last year that we
Yep.
recorded a podcast. So December is a 3. So 12,
Hmm.
1 and 2 is a 3.
Yep.
Okay. The 17 is an 8. So 1 and 7 is 8.
Yep.
When you add those numbers together, it's 11.
Yep.
So 11 is the spiritual number, it's the intuitive number, it's the psychic number.
Yep.
So, what are we talking about today?
Yep.
Spirituality. But 11 also means to master your intuition, to become a master of your spirituality, to master your connection to
Mhm.
source. Okay. So it's a significant number. The 3 is communication, and we're doing a podcast.
On intuition, mastering your
Uninfluenced,
intuition.
right?
What? And we did not plan this, folks. It
No.
just is funny. And I would love to have you back on numerology. And I've been doing some work in I Ching, and there's a lot of numerology. All these things all hit. And I think,
Numerology is crazy accurate.
yeah,
Crazy accurate. And
fascinating.
if I don't do anything, my kids are getting married and they ran the numbers by me. Is this a good day? I look at the numbers for everything. My husband had to go in for surgery, and the doctor gave us multiple dates. And I looked at the numbers to see if they coincided with his birthday. That's how you do that. And I
Yes.
said, if you pick this day, everything's going to go super smooth and it's going to be perfect. And it was.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking at the date. And the other thing is today is at 17, it's an 8 day. And the 8 is about looking at life through lenses of the glass is half full or half empty. So it's your choice. 8 is a number of abundance. It's a number of joy. It's the number of being connected, but it can
Yeah.
also be a negative where we feel the victim.
Mm.
So it's a choice. So today, doing this podcast, it's like, what will you choose? What will you choose? How will you look at this podcast today? Will you look at it as bullcrap that it doesn't work for you? Or will you actually try it with an open mind and
Mm.
see where it takes you?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Because I think I'm surrounded by people that we all believe in something. I think it's just exciting to be able to learn more things that you can believe in, that you
Right.
can see impact your life. I'm thankful to have the opportunity to share through you more things to learn about and more things to believe in. Before we go, is there one last thing that you want to share that I didn't ask that came up from the guides before we go?
The guides always tell me something really important, and that they want you to know how blessed we all are. They want
Hmm.
us to know that we are all beautiful, intuitive. We are all like children of source. We all come from the same place. We are all one. And they always want us to realize that we deserve. We come here knowing we deserve. When you're 1 years old, 2 years old, think of a 2 year old. Like, you can't tell them anything. They know everything, right?
Yes. No, and you're wrong. I'm right. No.
I'm right. You're wrong.
And they're
Exactly.
right, probably.
And they're
Excellent.
right. They come into life knowing they deserve. It's
Yep.
life that tells us that we don't. It's life.
Yeah.
It's people. It's family. It's where we live, how we grow up, society, whatever you want to put on it. And your guides want you to know that you are the most beautiful piece of art, so blessed and so supported,
Mm.
that you're never alone. You're always loved. You're always given support. And we're not taught that. There's so
Mm.
many of us that we're not taught that. We're always taught no brimstone and fire. Who are you? You are not your experiences. You've learned through your experiences. You are a higher being of light that is experiencing these things. So always remember, you deserve. You deserve.
That's amazing. All right. I needed that. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you and to learn from you. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I love doing your podcast. You're awesome. And you're doing your purpose too. Doing these podcasts is amazing. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
keep up the good
I
work.
thank you. Thank you. And we'll have you back for numerology real soon. That's all for today. If you want to learn more about Christina's Inner Light Holistic Community, her YouTube recordings, and free meditations, those links will be in the episode notes. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was helpful. If it was, please subscribe, drop a review, or share it with your friends and family. That's the best way to get it in the hands of those who may benefit. And if my daughters Sienna and Sylvia are listening, I just want you to know how proud I am of you. And I love you so much. Bye now.